What's up guys, and welcome back to my Pokemon Sun and Moon video, and today we are talking about the Kahunas of the Alola region and their possible battle locations. So we know what the Kahunas are, sort of. They're basically the equivalent of an Elite Four, and you sort of battle each Kahuna once you finish the trial tasks on each island. So obviously melee, you do some trial tasks, then you get to face off against Hala. We don't know any of the other Kahunas at the moment, but we might be able to look at some areas where we might battle them. Because if we just take a quick look at the sort of the shot we had of Hala talking about his Kahuna status, and you can see here he's talking to you, and he's in the starting village on that big platform where we have our battle with How, our rival, and you know he's there, and obviously we then go into battle with him, or at least we assume we do, because he says, "Old Hala Hill will also be going all out. Let the grand trial begin." So that's the battle with Hala there, and it seems to be the case of, you know, you beat the trial captains, then you face the Kahuna, then you move on to the next island, etc. And you go around like that. Or it could be the case of you face the trial captains on one island, move to the next, to the next, to the next, and then you sort of travel around back again and face the different Kahunas, sort of like an Elite Four. So we don't really know how it works, but we can figure out some battle locations. So obviously melee, the battle location for Hala is in that starting village on this platform here, and yes, we're going to be looking at platforms again, very similar to how we looked at platforms for the No More Gyms video, which you all hated me for. Look at you now. Haha, I'm joking. So yes, that's obviously the battle location for Melee Island, and we'll visit the other islands too. We'll go to Akala next, since that seems to be the next one in the journey, but I can't really find a decent location for this island actually. There's no sort of battle platform that just sticks out to me. I mean, the island, sort of the town, the sort of the very south town, no platform there. The town where we first arrive in with the ferry port, again, no really big platforms there. There's one right next to the Pokemon Center, but it's not really a platform, it's more of an empty space, so I wouldn't think it's that. Then moving up north, all you have is farm stuff, and then obviously, Pokemon centers and the waterfalls and such, and then the volcano, and come back down we have obviously this area that looks to be where one of the trial captains will be, but the only sort of platform like area is the one in the center of this, I guess, village or town with, it looks like a hedge basically with a few sculptures around it, but that's the only platform like thing that would make enough sense basically. So I don't really know, I'm a bit clueless for Akala Island. It could end up being like inside the volcano. We know that Kiawe's sort of location is on top of the volcano, or near to that at least. So who knows exactly where that will be. But then if we move on to the largest of the 4 islands of the Alola region, the platform I'm picking out to be the most likely the one about the Kahuna in is actually in the first town you reach, it would seem, because you see the ferry port here, you got the tower and stuff, and you can see this platform here. It looks like a fancy platform as well. It's got a nice gold trim on it. Now remember that the original platform from Melee Island was just a plain brown platform, whereas actually in the game you can see it's got loads of fancy design around the outside. So if you've got a gold trim on this one, it seems like it's going to be a pretty important platform. Possible other platforms on this island, I can't really see too many of them. There's not really any on the mountain at all. The Walled City I wouldn't expect so, because obviously that's the one that's being taken over by Team Skull, so it wouldn't make sense for like the most powerful trainer on the island to be there. And really there's no other platforms. Yes, okay, there's maybe a platform near the 7 towns, but it doesn't really seem like fancy enough, I suppose. And of course it's not actually in a proper town down there, so you'd really think that Kahuna would be like in an area where you can have a battle against them and people watch, similar to your first rival battle and such like that. So it seems like this first town is where the Kahuna will reside. My theory, my thoughts maybe, will be that the Kahuna will be someone you actually meet fairly early on for each island. So obviously you meet Hala right at the start of the game basically. Maybe you don't hear that he's the Kahuna straight away, or maybe you do, who knows. But you could arrive on this biggest island here and you could meet someone, the Kahuna who lives in this town of course. You could either find out he is the Kahuna, or they could be keeping it secretive, similar to the champions from the previous games. So who knows there. Then moving on to the final island. Again, this is really an uninhabited island. There aren't any platform areas at all. Yes, okay, there is the one up by the temple, but that seems to be a legendary location. So the one I've picked out here is on the floating town island thing, right here next to the Pokemon Center. And again, this is very similar to the last one. It's on the first town you arrive at. So it seems like my idea. This is where my idea comes from of meeting the Kahuna at the start of every island, or at least sometime soon, because obviously then you can come back to him right at the end once you finish exploring the island. That's just my thoughts though. In terms of the central island, Well, we don't know what that is really yet. Could be some sort of battle frontier. Again, we don't know. I don't think it's going to be sort of involved in the main game. I'm not too sure though, really, because we don't. It's not like it's going to be an Elite Four location, because it doesn't look like we're getting an Elite Four, at least not straight away. So who exactly knows what's going to be going on there? But that was just a quick short video speculating on the Kahuna battle locations. Let me know what you think. Where are you going to sort of face off against each Kahuna of each island? Obviously we have a Hala and the Mele Mele island finished, but what about Akala and the other two islands? Where do you think we're going to end up meeting the Kahuna? Who are they going to be? Where are we going to battle them? And do you think there'll be battle platforms like I'm assuming, or could we see some battles inside, like inside the volcano for example? Let me know what you think down below, but for now this is going to be it for me for today. I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye my friends.